Got some good work in today. Switched it on over to some situational things. You guys saw that out there, which was really nice to see. Unscripted things, really everything that had been installed over the last few weeks was up, and we'll see the tape to see who handled it and who didn't. Some guys better than others, you could tell out there, but it was good to see. It felt more like football, even though we don't have the pads on, and then some 2-minute, 4-minute type stuff popped in there as well, which was really nice to see. In regards to the team, we had 2 guys that we know about that were excused for personal reasons. That was kind of to be anticipated, but other than that, we're all set and we're all ready to go. So I'll open it up from there.
And was Jalen Johnson one of the excused?
Yes. Yep.
Are you able to tell us the other one?
Elijah Hicks.
I think it was a 94-yard 2-minute drive that ended in a touchdown today. Just what did you like about the operation or how that all went?
Yeah, I mean, I know you haven't been to every single OTA so far, but I would say the defense has gotten the better of the offense more often than not in all of those 2-minute, whether it's end of half or end of game. So it was good to see the offense stack a few plays together. That's a very tough situation. I think it was 90-plus yards in under a minute with no timeouts, and so it was cool to see them stack some plays. See Caleb really, what we thought about him was when the lights are bright that he was going to show up, and it felt like the game slowed down a little bit for him, and he was able to just go out and find an open guy and get a completion. So that was good to see. Well, there might have been some sacks mixed in there, so it was a little bit more slanted to the offense, but in terms of the drill and the situations that came up, I thought it was really good learning for everybody.
What does a young quarterback have to do to improve deep ball accuracy?
Repetition. I was there. I had that narrative in Miami when we drafted Tannehill in 2012, 2013, that he'd struggle with the deep ball, and you just keep focusing on it. You get close with your receivers. It doesn't matter if you're throwing the ball deep, throwing it short, but it takes some time to develop chemistry, and once you get that done, then usually it becomes clockwork after that. So it's just the more repetitions we get as a unit, the better off we're going to be.
With Brisker, what were your thoughts on him coming in before you saw him out on the grads? Seen him in the division for a couple of years, and then I'm sure looking at film when you got here.
Yeah, he was a guy that you had to earmark and just make sure you knew where he was when you game plan against him, because he was very active, particularly in the run game. He liked to come down and fill in the box and played like a linebacker that happened to be a defensive back and not afraid to hit you. So we always told the receivers that they had to make sure they accounted for him. And so can't see that right now without the pads, but you can certainly see an active player that he's excited, he's passionate about the game, and he loves playing football. He likes to talk a little bit too, which I appreciate.
You have missed as much time as he did, though. He talked about like retraining his nervous system. Do you see any hesitation in him in just what you're working through right now because of the concussion?
No, well, I mean, everyone's learning, and so if there's any glimpses, little hiccups, it's usually because they're trying to process what they're seeing out in front of them and what the rules of the defense are, and so there's a little bit of that going on, but I can't think of anything out of the ordinary for where he's at, the position he's playing, or his colleagues out there as well.
And with Tommy Stevenson, obviously last year you had the Hail Mary play that became a big storyline nationally. Have you talked to him about it and had a back and forth with him about, hey, what happened here? Hey, you can't do that, anything like that?
No, I think he learned his lesson from that, and his peers have certainly talked to him about it, and it wasn't really any reason for me or the staff to piggyback on that, because he's learned from it, he's grown from it, and what's in the past is in the past, and we're moving forward.
What do you make of him from what you've seen in practice?
Well, what we love about him is he's got some length and he's not afraid, which I think those are 2 things that you really need to play corner, particularly the style of corner that we're looking for. Guys that'll come up, they'll challenge, they'll get hands-on. Press man-to-man is something that we're going to do a healthy amount of, and we feel like he fits that mold really well. And so once again, he's learning the scheme. There's some different things that DA and Al Harris and the rest of the crew are asking of him, but he's been very receptive so far, and he's a young, hungry player just like a lot of these guys.
Your time with Goff in Detroit, what did you learn about the connection piece between play caller and quarterback, and what did you learn about developing a quarterback?
Yeah, I think it goes beyond that for me. It goes back, like I brought up Tannehill before, and that's it started with him, and then we had a number of guys that were in that quarterback room in Miami, different quarterback coaches, different play callers. Same thing in Detroit, whether it was Stafford or Goff, different guys, and you pick different things up out of all of them. I think there needs to be, I mean, you use the word accountability. It's like that for every position, but certainly that position, you got to be able to tell them when it's good and when it's not good enough in front of their peers. And then we spent a lot of time together one-on-one as well. I thought that was some of the best things that I did when I became coordinator was the quarterback and the play caller need to see the play exactly the same. And so you don't develop that trust unless you spend a lot of time together. And for whatever reason, if you do it in the room with all the other quarterbacks, sometimes you can get a little defensive, whereas when it's one-on-one, the truth can come out and no one's feelings are going to get hurt, and each person can speak the truth. And so I guess those are some of the things that I have learned over the years.
When does that trust process become, I guess, the most critical when you're building something from scratch like you're doing here? Like when you get into camp, will there be more one-on-one time because you're starting to refine what you want to do offensively, or is it just all everything?
Yeah, I mean, we'll take advantage of whatever time we're allowed to spend with these players. Right now, we're limited. This week, we actually get a little bit more than what we've had in the past few. But yeah, certainly camp, and then once we get into game weeks, there's going to be a lot of time spent with the staff and with myself as the play caller.
I feel like there was a teaching moment with Caleb at the end of that last 7-on-7 where he went to the flat for Roshan. What were you trying to? Was he supposed to go somewhere else with that? Did you see something?
No, he was late, so he needs to get there faster.
How is he responding in those sorts of moments?
Awesome. Yeah, he's doing a great job. He's very coachable, and it's like anything. It's a new play, and so we're just communicating what the expectations are, and we want to see it show up on the tape.
Then we had a couple of guys yesterday talking about how your attention to detail and your ability to let them know immediately when something's not the way you want it is striking to them. Does that come from a coach that you played under? Do you have influences in terms of that specific trait? Or are you just like that in real life, outside of football too? Where do you think it comes from?
I don't know. I've probably seen more bad football than I've seen good football over my time in this league, and so it's trying not to make the same mistakes as the people I've been around maybe in the past that I perceived as mistakes. And I don't think you can let things slide. I think offensive football is about precision, and so it's a constant communication of what that should look like, and when they hit the mark, we love them up, and when we fall short, then we got to let them know so we get it better next time.
And when we were talking with Grady Jarrett, he singled out Jaquan Brisker as a guy stepping up in a leadership role, organizing guys, bringing them to Miami. Is there any ways in which, from your seat, you've noticed Jaquan maybe stepping into a little bit of a leadership role?
Well, it's hard to compare because I've only been with him now for 7 weeks, 8 weeks, but I can tell you this just from afar. Having called plays against him, he was a guy that really came on last year. You could feel it, with Billings being out last year, could feel him grow into just a little bit more of, hey, I need to step up here, and you could see it. You could see it on the tape. There was growth. There was more production, particularly in the pass rush game, and I think what we've seen here from the D-line room as a whole, we've seen a lot of guys that are pushing, they're growing. I like to spend a lot of time down there during individual because it's not just great work, technique work they're getting, but they're coaching each other up along the way as well. So we got a great cohesive unit, and then when we get the pads on, it's going to be a really healthy competition as well.
I know you said that, obviously we don't see every single practice that you guys have out here, but from your eyes, was this the best that you've seen Caleb Williams so far in terms of what he did at practice today?
Hard to say. Yeah, you got to look at the tape to be sure about that, but it certainly felt like he had some good moments in there, so maybe we need just a little bit of drizzle every day and we'll pull out the best.
Is anyone standing out to you that's maybe you weren't expecting to pop?
Oh shoot. Ask me that one tomorrow and I'll have an answer for you. Yeah. Nothing off the top of my head right now. Yeah, thank you guys.